I'm Dick DeYoung from TwoCameraGuys.com. Today I'm hands-on with the Olympus E-PL2, which falls into the category of mirrorless cameras with interchangeable lenses. One of the advantages of not having to build a mirror into a camera is that the body can be smaller than a typical DSLR. The PL2 body is not the smallest in the mirrorless camera category, but is still not much bigger than an iPhone and only weighs about 12 ounces. This Olympus features a 12.3 megapixel 4/3 image sensor. As a general rule, the bigger the sensor, the better. When compared to the sensor in an average point-and-shoot camera, the 4/3 is about 9 times larger, though it's about 30% smaller than an APS-C sensor that is in some of the competing mirrorless cameras, and both are a step down from the 35mm full-frame sensor found in higher-end DSLRs. The normal kit lens for the PL2 is a 14 to 42mm zoom, which covers the wide angle to normal range. If you wish to make this a true pocket camera, Olympus offers a 17mm wide-angle prime lens. With it on, the camera is less than 2.5 inches deep. Olympus originated the modern mirrorless camera, and since that time they have created an impressive lineup of lenses for their micro 4/3 system, including the ones pictured here, and a few more. In addition, Panasonic makes micro 4/3 lenses which are compatible. Of note, these lenses have a 2x factor. Therefore, the 75 to 300mm lens would cover about the same angle of view as a 150 to 600mm lens on a 35mm film camera. One of the disadvantages of the PL2 is that its 3-inch LCD display does not flip or swing in any direction, which makes it harder to see in bright sunlight. To address that problem, Olympus sells an optional electronic viewfinder that fits into the camera's hot shoe. To activate it, you push this button. The viewfinder screen is bright and clear, though not as detailed as the main screen due to its small size. The viewfinder tilts up 90 degrees, allowing you to shoot from the hip or even at ground level. The PL2 also has a built-in pop-up flash. I like the flexibility of this little device because you can bend it up to the ceiling to achieve a bounce flash effect. And if you are shooting close-up photos of small objects, Olympus makes an ingenious bendable macro arm light which attaches to the hot shoe. The camera has a comfortable hand grip, which is important when one of the heavier zooms is attached. The battery and SD card compartment is on the bottom, and right next door is the tripod socket. Unfortunately, attaching a tripod mounting plate will block access to this compartment. It's a minor inconvenience, unless you are planning a long session of shooting on a tripod. I like the convenience of the main control knob on the top, that you can twist to select the various shooting modes like shutter or aperture priority, or if you want the camera to take control, intelligent auto. All the other settings are adjusted directly on the 3-inch LCD screen by turning the wheel on the back and selecting your options. The PL2's panorama mode is not as automatic as the one provided in Sony mirrorless cameras like the NEX5. This Olympus gives you a basic template in which to frame your sequence of shots. The camera does not stitch the images together. You need to do that in a photo editing program later. When weighing the pros and cons of the PL2, I keep coming back to the fact that I'm pleased with many of the images that I shot with this Olympus, which is a fundamental element when judging in camera. I think the 4/3 sensor contributes to the picture quality. Just don't expect full-frame sensor performance, and you won't be disappointed with the noise that is evident in shadow details when shooting in low light. But for me, I really value the dedicated viewfinder that allows me to concentrate on the image that I'm trying to capture. I only wish that it was part of the kit and didn't cost an extra $250. In addition, the wide range of lenses should satisfy even the serious DSLR photographer. And the PL2 also provides an in-camera image stabilization feature, which works independently from any of the lenses that you attach. I'm also thankful for the traditional thumb wheel at the top. I'm happy whenever I can avoid squinting at that non-articulating LCD screen. I'm not a fan of the on-screen menus. They are overflowing with features, and can be confusing to navigate. Expect to spend time studying the manual and getting familiar with the PL2 layout. Though if you dig through the menus, you may discover fun options that appeal to you, like the art filters, which post-process photos to render effects like dramatic tone or pinhole. Overall, I think that both the point-and-shooter looking to step up to the next level and the DSLR enthusiast wanting to travel lighter will prize the PL2's picture quality and reasonable price. You can find more information and full resolution test photos on the Olympus E-PL2 on our 2 Camera Guys site, including how it stacks up in our mirrorless camera shootout. Up next is a short sampler of video shot with the PL2. Of note, this camera captures video in the rather cumbersome motion JPEG AVI format, and its highest HD video resolution is 1280 by 720, and not 1920 by 1080. But if you're planning to post videos on YouTube, the PL2's 720p resolution is more than adequate.